The art of the kettlebell flow looks cool, it feels incredibly fancy. It is also one of the most overrated ideas in fitness, especially if you're trying to build muscle. In fact, if you're trying to build muscle and strength, you just want to skip flows altogether. Kettlebell flows look amazing, they feel fun, and they are really unique to do. They are also a waste of time if we are actually trying to build muscle and strength. So you're better off skipping them unless you're an Instagram influencer, maybe?
Yeah, when you pull up the Instagrams, you see all different flashy and fun flows. They look really cool. Like, oh, I want to be about that. I want to be in that. But there's other exercises and focuses we can achieve to get a better bang for our buck.
Exactly. It's all about what your goal in training is. And if it's muscle and strength, then you want to skip the flow. If it's pure fun and you just really want to have fun and throw a kettlebell around, sure, do the windmill to the snatch to the flip the kettlebell and do all of that. But if you actually want to build muscle and strength, then it's time to skip the flows. Here are 3 reasons why.
The first one, it's hard to build mind-muscle connection. We're not spending enough time in that single movement to really understand what muscle group we're targeting, right? So maybe we're doing one press, one lateral lunge, one swing, but we're revolving around one rep. We're never actually loading that muscle long enough to feel what it should be.
Exactly, and that is so important for building muscle, and I need to be able to feel that, and I need to be able to repeat a motion and kind of explore how my body works and build a little bit of tension there, and I can't do that when I'm switching all those moves. It winds up just not being an efficient way to build muscle. Sure, over the long haul, because you're lifting a heavy kettlebell, you may build muscle, but it's just not the best way if you actually have that muscle building goal. Second issue with kettlebell flows is the inconsistent loading. So when we're combining, say, that lateral lunge into a single arm kettlebell swing, into a windmill, those are 3 very different movements where I can move very different loads. I might be able to swing a heavier kettlebell than I can lateral lunge. I might not be able to do a windmill with quite the same load, and because of that inconsistent loading, I'm not maximizing any of the motions that I'm doing in a way that's really going to build muscle and strength. And I'm just not creating enough challenge on some of those motions, and some of those motions wind up being a waste of time aside from the fact that I'm flowing.
And with that, it leads right into that third point of time under tension. We're going through one rep, we're not really understanding the mind muscle, and then like you said, it's the press might be a lot lighter of a bell than we can squat. So again, we're not really loading the body in a way where we're taking it over the top to really build the full potential of strength.
Exactly. Time under tension is so important for muscle building, and it's the key thing I think that's really missing from a kettlebell flow. If I do a full set of single arm kettlebell presses, that winds up being, say, 25-30 seconds of time under tension consecutively, all challenging that shoulder joint. But if I do a single press into a kettlebell swing, into a lateral lunge, into a row, that's 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, and I'm constantly moving away from a muscle group, so I'm not really fatiguing any of those muscle groups, and I'm not really challenging anything. Because of these 3 reasons, yes, you can kettlebell flow for fun because they are fun, they are flashy, and they're gonna be the best content that you post on your Instagram page if you're not actually trying to reach any goal. But if you really wanna build muscle, you wanna try these 3 approaches with your kettlebell training instead. The first idea we have for you, if you have only a single kettlebell, instead of doing it as a flow, if we're actually trying to build strength, let's go to a kettlebell circuit. So instead of doing a single lateral lunge into a single kettlebell swing, into a single overhead press, into a single row, let's do, say, 10 reps of that lateral lunge, then let's follow that with 10 reps of our swing, then let's go to 10 reps of the press, and then let's go to 10 reps of the row. And what that's going to do, even if you're only working with a single kettlebell, you're gonna get a lot more time under tension, you're gonna get a lot more chance to build that mind-muscle connection because we're repeating a movement, and that's gonna help you really build the mind-muscle connection you need to build muscle and build strength.
And that leads us right into our second alternative, and you can still get a great workout with kettlebells, whether it's not a flow or a complex or a circuit, and it's just doing your standard reps and sets. So say we're doing overhead press and squatting and lunging in our workout, we can still get 4 sets of 12 overhead press with 1 kettlebell, and then go into our squats for 4 sets of 8 with a heavier bell, and then so on. So we're not very limited if we have multiple bells, that we can still create a great workout, still get the time under tension, still get the mind-muscle connection, and still build muscle and strength.
Exactly. Remember, the kettlebell is just a tool. Anything you can do with a dumbbell, you can do with a kettlebell, whether it's a press or a row. So we might as well just use it like those tools in a way that's going to help us build strength a little bit better. And our third option for you, if you absolutely, positively have to do a kettlebell flow, but you really, really want to build muscle, let's get a really, really good traditional muscle building workout in, whether that's push-ups or whether that's bench presses and incline presses on chest day, or whether you're squatting and doing deadlifts. Let's just use whatever apparatus and let's get that good workout in. And then at the end of the session, if you absolutely have to flow, let's use flows as a finisher. That way you're getting that fun factor in. You're going to get a little bit of cardiovascular effect out of it. You're going to get a little bit of momentum transfer work. You get to have your fun, but you're still going to actually build the muscle you want.
Whether you're just coming to the gym and you need to move and warm up, or you just want that full-on sweat at the end of the workout, there's still an option for the flow. Just saying, don't make it the center of your workout.
Exactly. Part of your workout, not the entire thing. Check those out.